Well, look, it is every other Thursday, and you're here with Stacy, Professor T, for Ask Stacey Stuff. Stacy, hi, how are you?
Good. How is everybody?
Good.
Good. It's good.
Yeah, I forgot that it was Thursday, and I forgot that it was ass night. So I started eating. I went out to eat, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta eat." So slammed a drink, slammed some 6 chicken wings down, 6, and then rushed my booty back home so I could be here for all you.
Were they boneless?
No, I don't do boneless.
They had the bone in the middle, so you're like, scraping them off with your teeth and everything.
I just did that. So yeah, just kind of slammed down that drink, and they gave us a free little micro drink there, which apparently is, surging across the internet. And now I'm here.
There you go.
Buzz is going to kick in any minute.
And Stacy, when there's no bone, it's called a chicken nugget. It's not a chicken wing.
Yeah, is that not the same thing as a boneless chicken?
Yeah,
wing?
well, they do the boneless, chicken wings. They're just shaped like chicken wings with no bone in it, but they're nuggets.
Yeah, it's a nugget or a strip. Can't going back to Hoot's first question, I'm sure our government can figure out a way to trick chickens into not having bones in their wings, just running around like just flapping. It's got to be possible.
It's got to be possible. I don't know. But before we get to D Hoot's question, we should probably say hi to everybody that is here and who has said hi, because they're here for you, Stacy. So Stacy's first. I always love when Stacy goes first on his show. It always makes me laugh. D Hoot is right here hanging out with questions. She didn't even wait. She's like, I got to.
Yeah, Hoot's got like this new position on all the podcasts where she's sort of like the executive director and she just gets to own it. I
love it. I love it too. There is Miss Danny. She's here. Did she have boneless chicken wings too? Or
she had bones in her chicken wings. We both got it was an interesting little conversation because we both ordered the 6-piece chicken wing set, right? Whatever you call it. Kit.
You say it's set?
I don't know what it's called.
Chicken wing set?
I guess. And then they were like, well, do you just want the 12-piece? And it became a very challenging situation because it didn't really matter.
You didn't know how to pick, did you?
Didn't know what to say. So 2 6s is a 12, but yeah, it was a whole thing. But we ended up with 12 chicken wings.
Either way, it was going to be 12 tonight, I think. Either way. There's Mark Brown. Hey, Mark. He's back to cult member.
Yeah.
He's back to cult member.
Should be
We
getting a
love that.
package. Let me check on his package.
There's Stephen Kometz, P3S. How are you doing, Stephen? And Kaylee, she's here helping and hanging out with some, I hope, have some good things because we've got a good show here up ahead to kind of go over some things. There is Miss Cynthia Gentle. I don't know this name. Do you know this name, Stacy?
No, I don't.
Well,
Hi,
I don't know this name, but yeah, we are so excited that you are here and we hope that you join in because the whole point of this is to join in and get your voice heard. So if you have any questions for Stacy, there is the amazing Get Haunted Paranormal Podcast program manager right here, Courtney Peterson, welcoming everybody in like she always does. Here is Dee Dee, the dream interpreter. How you doing, Dee Dee? We hope you are good. Teresa, 2 realms. There's 2 realms. That's one of the 2 realms, right? Yes. Uh-oh. Deb coming in strong. Deb coming in strong with boneless chicken wings are for pussies. That's what she says. Oh,
You can
Deb.
put them wherever you want. I'm not going to judge.
There is my friend Brandy. Hey, Brandy, how are you doing? We hope you are good. We love seeing when your name pops up here. And there, oh, look at Damien's here. He says, good morning. Nice to see everyone. Nice to see you, Damien. So tonight, well, I learned something. Stacy taught me something. I'm so excited. So tonight, Stacy wanted to go over his 2024 predictions and where we are so far in those, which I think it is important to kind of go over that at the 6-month period because we want to see, did we hit on any or are we headed towards some of those, right? That's kind of the whole point of the recap.
Yeah.
But he taught me that on his video for the 2024 predictions on YouTube, it busted it out into chapters. Nobody knows how it happened, but we get to watch those with Stacy and then you'll kind of go over those. Is that sort of the plan, Stace?
Yeah, go one by one, see if we got a hit or miss or 2BA, As far as I could tell, none of them have actually taken place yet, but it's so close. We're starting to see the stuff evolve in the news.
Okay.
At the 6-month mark, stuff that, without using remote viewing would have been like throwing darts at a wall, and we're getting really, really close to a lot of these things. And, the moral of the story here is that we're all still here. Rob gets really upset and twisted when some of the stuff doesn't look so sexy. But we're all still here. Everything is fine. Ugh. And, just because
worst news of the day.
What? We're still here?
I feel like we need a reset.
What? Oh, the whole society, whole world?
Let's just start.
Oh, yeah, that's coming. But
I saw a photo today that was taken while the Egyptians were building the pyramids.
Yeah.
You saw a photo today about
pyramids? It just proved that it wasn't aliens. It was a great photo taken in 2000 BC, whatever it was. Yeah. Anyway, people were believing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm all over the place tonight. I'm disruptive.
You're good. That's how we like you, disruptive. Well, before we get started on that, let's talk about D Hoot's question here because, I think, do you have a brief synopsis? Does Stacy have anything that's a brief synopsis of his knowledge? Well, I don't know, but
MK Ultra was the CIA's secret black project to test all kinds of crazy things that were going on in the 60s, ranging from dosing people with LSD to, because LSD back in the day was really good stuff. It was really pure. They didn't put the stuff that happens, you see at concerts now, but they would dose people with massive amounts of it just to see what would happen to them. Some people went nuts. Some people committed suicide. Some people, were contained in a room and then thoroughly fucked with. It was a really evil program, but they wanted to find a drug that would make soldiers more compliant during Vietnam, because soldiers were not as compliant as what they should have been with the whole what they call fragging of their commanders. If you're not military, that just means that a commander who's been given orders to go into an area they don't want to go into, his tent has a grenade just rolling in the middle of the night and, blows up the tent, and they don't have to go on a mission, that kind of thing. But it was happening more often than the military really wanted it to. So they wanted to feed things to the troops in their food and their MREs that would make them more super soldiers and less independent thinkers.
I know my MREs did not have LSD. The best thing in my MREs were, the sugar packets and the creamers, and the freeze-dried peaches.
They used to put saltpeter in the eggs too.
Not mine.
Saltpeter in the day, it used to be believed, the nuns believed anyway, that the best way to make sure that you wouldn't have nighttime emissions would be to make little boys impotent with saltpeter, and they would mix it in with the eggs.
Yeah. I don't think that happened when I was in the Army, but nobody was keeping track.
Yeah.
What about this Edgewood Arsenal human experiment, Stace? Do you have any?
I'm not as familiar with that. Quick Google search showed that it was dealing with chemical warfare on human experiments on soldiers in the United States, but the depth of it, the chemical warfare is illegal. It has been since the end of World War I, because mustard gas was used in World War I, and every government around the world signed an agreement saying no more biological or chemical warfare ever. Spanish flu was believed to be a biological agent that was released during World War I. And then when it came back, everybody got infected with it, and we had pandemics and stuff like that. So.
Do you think soldiers or people, do you think they would volunteer for that, or do you think they were just chosen? No, nobody volunteers. That's the first thing you learn when you go in the military. You volunteer for zero. Yeah. Volunteering while you're in is the dumbest thing you can do. I watch people volunteer for stupid things because they make it sound like one thing, and then in reality, it's another.
Yeah. We need somebody to volunteer to be a driver. And they go, I want to be a driver. And next thing you know, they're going to drive that forklift over there.
Drive the mop. Drive the floor. Yeah. They'd come in, who wants to watch TV today? I'd be like, please don't. Everybody, some people's hands would go up. Watching TV was the equivalent of being on your elbows in the gravel and on your tippy toes. And then they'd make you reach out and turn the channel, reach out. And then you come back and you do the other hand. Yeah, stupid. Yeah, that's what volunteering gets used. But going in maps, man, there was a line, on either side of just doctors with the needle guns, and they jabbed the shit out of you. I still have my shot records, because I was in Central America for 2 years. It's literally 3 feet long. I still to this day have no idea what shots I really got. Hemoglobin or gluboglobin or something like that was the worst one.
Yeah.
Got that one in the butt.
Did you serve during Gulf War 91?
Yeah,
that's when they were really big on injecting people with stuff, because the biological agent or chemical agent that Saddam had, they wanted to see what would neutralize it. So they were shooting soldiers up with all kinds of crap.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that because I was in Central America, though. I had, malaria pills, the whole 9 yards. You name it. There was a pill or a shot that I had. Could explain a lot of things that, how I got this good looking. Right, Stace?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree.
All right. Well, how do you want to start this? Do you want me to share? I'm going to share my screen. So this is what we have. I was discussing with the boys. I'm not really sure what I was doing here, what my thought process on these
Yeah,
are
you can start
very
with that.
visual.
Play the Year of the Money one chapter.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is going to hit right when you start talking about it, because we don't know why these chapters were created. So
Yeah.
bear with us. So we're going to go over what he predicted. And Stacy, you predicted these through remote viewing, correct?
Right.
All right. So, all right, let me.
Well, Courtney's here. Courtney, did you create these chapters? You just comment on the side, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if she did. How would she have known to do that?
I don't know, bro. I just know that I didn't do it.
Yeah, we didn't do it. All right, so we're gonna check this out. So bear with me. I'm gonna play the first one. So Year of Money. Okay, here we go. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Now that we're
Uh-oh.
live, it's not going to play.
Oh,
Yeah, it played for you guys before.
It did. It sure did. Did you put a quarter in your mold? Okay, good. All right, that's everybody for right now. Sarah's been starring some comments. So, Stacy, what are you thinking? How are you going to kick this bad boy off?
Well, the 2024 is the year of money. Everything that happens in 2024 is going to be a man-made event surrounding money. We're not going to have the kill shot where a big solar flare takes out the power. That's going to be man-made. It's going to happen, but it's going to be man-made.
Okay.
The stuff, if you've all watched that Obama Netflix special, the Leave the World Behind, that's predictive programming. It's exaggerated, but it's still something that's going to happen. So we're going to get into what needs to take place. Okay. However, the idea behind this show is not to freak everybody out and make them, bundle up in a corner, rocking back and forth. The show and the idea behind it is hope, being hopeful, and having faith in yourself and in humanity. The powers that be, their big tool is fear and hopelessness. To get you to do whatever it is they want you to do. And in reality, hope and, fear and hopelessness exists only here. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And you have complete control over it. They're gonna, throw every boogity at you in the media, online, all kinds of stuff, just to get you to comply with whatever they want. And it's because they want your money. They want you to be indentured to them. And the biggest, most powerful thing that you can do is say no.
No.
It really is. Because if everybody does it, they can't do anything.
Right.
We outnumber them by billions. And, if everybody just says no, they can't do anything. And I'll give you an example. During the Great Depression, there was a law or executive order, really, it wasn't even a law, where they told everybody to turn in their gold, under penalty, 10 years imprisonment. Some people did and some people didn't. But the thing to remember is not one person was prosecuted. Just saying no, they really can't do anything.
Right.
Because
nobody was prosecuted for that. I remember
one person.
And it's why people started hoarding gold afterwards.
Yeah.
Including me. Which I wish I held on to all my gold now. Okay. Yeah, Sarah's she's popping out to physically. We're having problems with one of the streams.
Okay. You want me to stop there so we can kind of touch on what you shared?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're still in the the pre-stages of this, but it's going to be kicking off very, very soon. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing in the news media, the Fed comes out and says everything is great, everything is strong, we're going to hold interest rates right where they're at, and blah blah blah. The amount of unrealized debt that the government has, and not just government, the banks themselves, all of the commercial real estate that they own, it's like 2008 was all homes real estate that was defaulting. Now it's commercial real estate, malls, skyscrapers. I mean, valuations that are, off the charts are now being defaulted on. And the banks are trying their hardest right now to hold that unrealized loss off their books. Because until they actually try and sell these debts, they're kind of nebulous. They don't have to actually claim them. But they still show what these unrealized debts are. They're on essentially what gives the bank its status of being liquid, being solvent. They have to show the debts and the revenues. Well, their debts are, if you were to see it on a bar chart from 2008 and now, it's like the tip of an iceberg from 2008, and then you look below the surface, and that huge block of ice is the bar graph of what they own now. That's going to come. They have to get rid of that before the end of the year, this year, and there's no way they can do it. And the only way is for a big government bailout, or they go tits up. And we're talking all the banks simultaneously. The only way out of that is a new money system. They have to forgive the debt. They have to write it off and replace the money itself with what they're trying to do with the CBDC, central bank digital currency. This whole thing, some of the chart guys are saying beyond September, who knows? We're really looking between now and September for everything to go to absolute shit as far as financially is concerned. And we won't know about it until it's already happened. The news media and all of that, they have this narrative of the economy. When good things happen equals good. When bad things happen, it also equals good. But when everything actually goes, bad things equal bad. And they don't tell you ahead of time, get your money out of the bank. They don't tell you, you don't want to buy these bonds right now, or you don't want to get in this stock or anything like that. They want you to keep throwing more money at it until you lose it all because that way they're getting out. They're pulling all their money out. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, they're pulling all of their money out. They've been doing this. They have to do it slowly in $100 million chunks, but they're doing it. They're pulling their money out and telling you, no, keep doing it. It's fine. Just keep doing it. It's great. Until it's not. We're almost there. The year of money is going to be a new money. And we, the people, are going to freak out for about 10 days. And then we're going to demand that this new system be put in place because we have no money. All our money is worthless. Your ATM's turned off. Your debit card's turned off. All of your stuff is frozen. We're seeing it now. People who have these online apps where they were Synapsis was the network that ran the credit card verification for everyone. They went tits up into bankruptcy and froze everybody's money. About $250 million. People have been going without their money for about 2 weeks now. And it's just going to get worse because it's a domino effect.
Kaylee bringing in the good positive vibe of everything has already gone to shit. She's feeling that. D is asking, what about the credit unions?
Yeah, they're all connected. Credit unions will stand on their own for a while, but nobody is outside the commercial real estate bubble because they were all swapping it. They were all buying this stuff. The CDOs from 2008, which was regular home real estate. They did the same thing for commercial real estate. If you don't know what I'm really talking about, the movie, the Big Short, that movie explains the whole process of what happened really, really well. And all you have to do is just swap home with commercial. It's the same damn thing that's happening. They didn't fix it. They just moved it around. And it's coming back.
So I feel like Wade's question really fits in here. So how does that apply to the media, which you kind of, I think, already kind of touched on there, but, and then more importantly, the election, like how, I mean, to me, you get people wigged out, right? It's the best way to handle an election year.
Right. Well, first of all, the guy who's running for the Democratic side, the current president, he's not going to be running the rest of this election. The Democrats, if you look at the New York Times and left-leaning media, they're already saying they're looking for his replacement. He cannot run. They're going to swap him out with somebody. And there's 4 people that they're, saying have the running, but nobody knows. At the convention, they're going to swap him out with somebody else. In my prediction, I say he's not going to live that long. But he's not running. I said it back in December. He's not going to be the next, president. He's not going to get a second term.
All right. Well, that's so serious. I felt like we just jumped right into the frying pan with that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Again, everything's going to be fine. It's not the end of it's just weird stuff. Massive change doesn't mean bad. It just means change. Sometimes massive change is really, really good because things are so screwed up.
Right.
You need to, raise it to the ground before you can build it back.
I would agree with that. All right. That's right. All right. So do you think that covered the year of the money for the most part?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I didn't talk about was how to protect yourself. And there's only a few ways to do that. One of which is we're going to be going from a debt-based society to an asset-based society. And I think I talked about that later in the video. What you need to do is buy assets. Take the money now that is pretty much worthless and buy stuff that's going to have value. Easily transferred, whatever. I buy cryptocurrency. I actually buy food and freeze dry it too, but gold, silver, precious metals, not jewelry, actual, the pins or the bars, because it's easier to transfer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Bambi.
Yeah. But you're going to need to have something that has value after the changeover. So, because they're going to reevaluate everything. The actual gold that the United States government has for its gold at Fort Knox, it's in a ledger. It's actually called Gold Reevaluation Account. That's the official name of the government's account for all of its gold. Why would you have a gold reevaluation account if you're not going to reevaluate the gold? Gold right now, if you look at the debt clock, is close to $27,000 based off of the depreciation of the dollar. Meaning the metals market, the COMEX market, has been suppressing the price for decades. That's not the actual price. They've been trading ETFs, paper gold, which they're saying 1 for 1. It's not. It's 250 to 1. So all of that's going to go away when it's reevaluated at its actual value. And countries that fall under BRICS, I don't know if you know anything about that. You know what BRICS are? Rob knows.
Yeah.
BRICS are a new coalition of countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Those are the initial founders of BRICS. There are now 27 other countries that have joined BRICS as a new trading partner. 47% of the world's population now fall into BRICS. They've stopped using the dollar to do trade. They're using their own currencies. They're going to be using a bridge currency, cryptocurrency, to do all of their trades. And the dollar is going to be cut out.
That's very interesting. And did everybody on the side, did you guys know what BRICS? We're like, is this all this stuff that you're saying, the renaming of the gold or the gold account name? Like, how do you know this information? Is that just public information?
It's public information. There are YouTubers that are, out there, and that's all they do is they push gold. They push, buying precious metals. I mean, you watch Glenn Beck, and he's pushing private, buy gold here and things like that.
Back. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's question that had to do with money. So protect ourselves. You see this is starting. You're starting to see the fruits of this. Right. And the big concern here is get yourself some assets instead of having cash.
They need to have this in place before Trump takes office. And because he's already vowed that it's not going to happen on his watch. So the only way to get it in place is going to be before he actually takes office. And they need to have an emergency, a black swan event, to where we, the people, say, we want it. We're dying. We need money. They're going to provide the solution after they've already provided the catastrophe. So that's how it always is for everything. Okay.
Do we feel like we've summed up your December going into Year of Money? We're good?
We're good.
We're good there. Okay. So Stace, what would you like to touch on now? Do you want me? So the after that was the prediction, and then it says the internet. So I'm not really sure what the prediction versus what the internet.
I don't remember what those are either.
Okay.
Once you hit prediction and see what that one says.
Okay. Let's go with prediction. Here we go.
I'm gonna mess with this. Go ahead. You guys keep going.
All right. Let's keep going with the prediction, Stacy.
Yeah. It comes down to whatever happens, you are in control. You just have to, once you are prepared for the unknown or something that what they call a black swan, if you're prepared for that, it's not going to bother you. Everybody else is going to lose their shit, but you don't have to, because everything's going to be fine. You just have to have all your ducks in a row before that. And what we were a while back talking about, remember the cell phone emergency alert system?
Yeah.
That's there for a reason. I tested it by putting my phone in a Faraday bag and, waited for the event to happen. It didn't hit my phone when it at the perceived time, but I pulled my phone out later, and it's the minute it pinged the tower, it set up the alert. There was no downloading of the alert. It was pre-downloaded on my phone. So this kind of thing is preparation for events that they're supposedly emergencies that are pre-planned. Okay, this is deals with scheduled times, alerting you to do certain things, be aware of certain things for, through the emergency alert system. While you're not able to text, while you're not able to call anybody, they can still communicate with you and give you commands from remote. That's the whole purpose. But these kinds of things won't affect you if you understand that this is a psyop. You're playing with your head to get you to comply, to get you to do something or not do something. Don't riot in the streets, that kind of thing. Martial law is coming through. Don't do this. Don't do that. You can just say, no, I'm going to do whatever I want. And if everybody does it, they can't do anything about it. Really.
And, I'm looking at Dee Dee saying there's a bunch of movies lately about losing power and internet. And when you think about it, so many houses have gotten rid of landlines and strictly use cellular phones. So if that shit goes down, you really are screwed for asking for help or looking for help or anything, right? I mean,
yeah. What they're going to do is put forth a super bug in the internet, which is also going to be bullshit. They have a kill switch for the entire internet. Every country has their own kill switch. And they started doing that way back. This is not new. They did this when, the Iranian government was trying to block the internet because of revolutions that were happening. Yeah. Saudi Arabia has done it. A lot of the Middle Eastern countries, Libya didn't do it, and Twitter basically overthrew Gaddafi. And that kind of thing just scared the bejesus out of every world leader. So they put in kill switches for the internet. And it's, degreed, where you have cell towers, you have Wi-Fi, you have, regular, IP internet. They can turn off different functions based off of the level of control they want to have. But they can turn the whole damn thing off with a push of a button.
That's why you got to be friends with Elon.
Well, or Zuckerberg. He's building a bunker out on Hawaii right now.
So I don't want to get too far in because that was sort of the prediction and the internet portion of what you were talking about. So was there something in there that you're sort of seeing?
It's kind of related to the year of money. When the new system comes in, they need to be able to control not only the narrative, but control all communication at the same time. Nobody's going to be able to transfer any money. I mean, that's how the whole economy works to begin with, is by the transfer of money back and forth. I'm doing all kinds of different things. Since that's going to be shut down, they don't want any other kind of organizing taking place, over the internet. So it's part of that. When the whole system turns to shit financially, they're going to turn off the internet too. And you're only going to get communications with the emergency alert system or over the approved broadcast television, which is, MSNBC, CNN, things of that kind. You're not, Glenn Beck on his podcast is not going to get anywhere. He's not going to be able to talk to anybody.
Oh, so
Sorry,
Paranormally
everyone.
Blonde, Ask Stacey Stuff, all that Wednesday live done.
Yeah, for about 10 days. They figured out the 10 days of darkness. That's what needs to take place in order for the changeover to take place. So it's, again, it sounds scary, and if you live in a big city, it is scary. But you don't have to actually succumb to it if you are, we hunkered down for 2 years and put diapers on our faces whenever we went outside. This is nothing. This is a walk in the park in comparison. So.
D Hoot making a statement there. Free money, free healthcare, free education for both sexes.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, Libya was, more progressive than other Middle East countries. Women didn't have to walk around with a burqa, but at the same time, they still threw gay people off the top of buildings. So there's that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, as long as we have chickens, if I have a chicken here and there so I can have eggs, we're good. We're golden. And a Bunsen burner, I can make some scrambled eggs. I think we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I got like 2,000 eggs freeze dried in a jar. So it's good stuff.
Why does that sound just foul to me?
Well, you just add water. You just add water and it reconstitutes and looks like a scrambled egg. It's not like the
Uh,
powdered eggs in the military. Those were boiled, hard boiled. Freeze dried is it doesn't come back sunny side up. It comes back as a scrambled egg, but you can make French toast and scrambled eggs, whatever, and you can't tell the difference because it's real. It's not chemical or anything like that. So
I don't know. Ducks are better than chickens, but I've never eaten like scrambled duck egg before, so I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I just don't know.
I think we're talking about
Lime
the
eggs. What's that? Oh, the meat. Well, sure. I mean, can we just live on pate then? Is that what we're gonna do? All right. So that pretty much took care of. Let's see, the prediction in the internet. Now we have fear tactics and Bible codes. Should I hit that up?
why don't we skip the fear tactics?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a sip of some moonshine so I can get through the rest of this fucking depressing ass show.
That's right. And D-Hoots, just reminding everyone out there, don't be a duck with a shiny a-hole. Let's not do that. Let's just be kind, everybody. Let's be kind. All right, we're going to go right to Bible codes. So let me get there. And I'm going to hit that up. I started them.
I know. You go to the Starred tab. Here was her first question. Sarah's having a hard night.
On the
Yeah, go to the Starred
accuracy of
tab.
Bible codes.
So do you have any thoughts about the accuracy of the Bible codes, Stacy?
Yeah, the
What's wrong
Bible
with
codes are a lot of numerology, because you have Latin, Jewish, and Germanic codes that all coincide, and they use this numerology to determine what certain words mean in other languages, and then they translate that language and reverse do the same thing, and it after a while it starts to not make any sense, because a lot of the Bible code stuff that they're using to translate the languages didn't exist then. English did not exist in biblical times, and yet they're doing it in Latin to Greek to English and English to Greek to Latin and Hebrew, and those things don't mesh in the terms of the time of the Bible. The language.
This could explain Sarah's typos and text messages.
She's a reincarnated Jew.
She might be.
Well, I
Greek.
do have 1%.
She does. She's she's a 1%er. So there you go. Maybe you are texting in biblical code.
Could be.
Or
It's some kind of code. I know that.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
All
the Bible, I'm not dissing on the Bible at all, but a lot of what is the Bible has nothing to do with what was actually written back in the day. The translations were either deliberately changed or changed because of lazy. The people who transcribed the Bible, because they didn't have printing press back in the day, you had actual monks transcribing from one Bible to another, and it was several generations of that. Words didn't mean the same thing, and the translation itself started to lose its meaning from its original intent.
Maybe I'll translate it. That'll be my project for 2024. We'll do the modern Rob version. No, I forgot how funny I was. It's happening over there. You seem like you're in a trance.
I know.
Well,
I'm
I'll
trying
give
to
you an
take it all
example.
in.
That even in modern times, in the Constitution, you can impeach a president for high crimes and misdemeanors. Well, what's a high crime? Nobody knows, because there's no such thing in our law of high crime. However, all of the founding fathers were Freemasons, and the Freemasons actually have a law of high crime, and it's the first one that it's your vow that you take when you enter the Masonic Lodge. When you first become a Mason, your vow is sacred. You violate that, that's a high crime. It's the oath of office of the president. The president violates his oath of office, that's a high crime. So that
I think I'm going to leave this show depressed and feeling stupid.
So Bible code, everybody's got they're chiming in here on the side, bringing up the Bible code here.
Yeah, well, the Bible itself, I mean, even the modern versions in English don't even agree on the same thing. The Bible and the Quran are the most contentious, doctrines in the history of humanity, because there have been so many wars fought over the meaning of one phrase over another. It's still happening today. The Sunni and the Shia it's like the Protestants and the Catholics. They're fighting over verses in the Quran because they think it means one thing and the other guy thinks it's another. It's the same damn words, but they mean different things depending on which generation of the book you're talking about. It's people fight over what they think the truth is in the monotheistic religions. The pagans didn't used to do that because they didn't have one supreme something or other. They had so many gods that had so many different personalities and so many characteristics. There was no reason to fight over it because, there's another one over there. Monotheism is that way, where there is only one, and mine is right and yours is wrong. Bible code can't come across with that because it's using an interpretation of an interpretation of an interpretation of an interpretation. There's no way the code is actually coming. People are reading into it more than what it actually is. It's like matrixing when you're ghost hunting. Your eye automatically sees faces or sees shadows when it expects to see faces and shadows. It will create those in your eye. Getting past that is part of the gig in being a paranormal investigator. Religion can't do that, and it's sad. So
All right, does that take care of Bible code for us?
I think so.
All right, so the next thing we have here is the next president.
Okay. Yeah. We touched on that one already.
You want me to go past it?
Yeah.
You didn't say the words, but you said he'll have to get that done before he or he vows to not let something happen when he's president.
Yeah. Trump vowed no CBDC, central bank digital currencies. He's already come out in favor of cryptocurrency that is held in private companies, but the government should never have a central bank digital currencies, because then it's all over with. That is the total surveillance tool to know what everybody's doing at all times. They can turn off your money anytime they want because you said something they don't like. It is the total surveillance, total compliance tool that is the favorite of China. They're doing it already with their social credit scoring. You walk across the street, jaywalk. You jaywalk in China, they take a picture, and through facial recognition, they know who you are, and they ding your bank account automatically before you get to the other side of the street. And they publicly shame you. There's a big billboard with your face on it showing that you jaywalked. So you get shamed and fined all, before you even get to the other side of the street. That's what a lot of people want here. They want it in Europe. They want the CBDC in order for total control. Trump has vowed not here, not in my country. But that's not what we were talking about in that episode.
Are you saying he's going to be president?
Yes. He's going to be president. Even if it's from jail. They're going to turn him into Nelson Mandela.
They have billboards on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Remote viewing breeding program. Is this true?
They have any remote breeding crunch? Yeah, it is. There's a book called China's Super Psychics. It's a pretty hefty book. but it was done by an investigative journalist who witnessed these things firsthand when China was showing off these kindergartners who were doing some really like next level X-Men stuff. Things that we did are nothing compared to what China's been doing with remote viewing. Their psychic program. You know, they've been teaching children how to actually manifest physically in the palm of their hand. You know, this reporter saw a child be given a seed, a plant seed, put it in his hand, and it would sit there and it would hold it and hold it and hold it, and then all of a sudden you'd open his hand and it would sprout. It would be sprouting in the hand. They actually got the plant to actually grow in a few seconds in the little child's hand.
I can do that, just so everybody knows.
You can make plants sprout in a few seconds?
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Are you going to prove that to us on the show?
I got us a lighter.
Yeah.
The
super psychic program is very intense, and they're doing it with children, teaching them before they're able to read how to use their inherent psychic ability. So they develop it early on. I think that's brilliant. We should be doing that here. You know, instead of learning how to eat paste in kindergarten, they should be learning how to, you know, do things psychically so they can actually listen to the universe.
That's how we get more Marines, okay?
What's
crayons and paste. Where are my Marines?
Uh-oh. That's
started it.
Them are fighting words. Those are fighting words now. Okay, so we have Who Will Survive? Warmongers.
Oh, God. I slammed down chicken wings for this show, just so everybody knows.
We have Get Haunted 2024.
Oh.
We have major illnesses and U.S. invasions. We have U.S.
Yeah, we talked about the whole idea of no Red Dawn. Do you remember that? D-Hoot was asking whether we were going to get an invasion. And we both, you and I, agreed that no, that's impossible. You can't do a Red Dawn in the United States.
Oh, no.
However, if you've been paying attention in the news over the last few days, there are Russian subs that are going around the Florida Keys right now.
Yeah, so I did see that.
We're actually in a position right now that is worse than the Cuban Missile Crisis. They're not doing it in the news that way because they don't want to freak everyone out, because, you know, the old goat in the Oval Office would be responsible for it. But we're actually worse off now than the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis with Kennedy. Back then, it was ships that were coming from Russia to Cuba with missiles to, you know, put them in Cuba. That was the whole thing. If they landed in Cuba, there would be shit to pay for it.
Yeah.
But the ships weren't there yet. They were on their way. That whole 13 days of the Cuban Missile Crisis was the ships going there. We're past that. They're there.
Right.
They have.
But Ian's on point, right? I mean, a ground invasion in the United States is just, it's impossible, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially on, maybe they could probably pull it off in California, but they wouldn't get very far. East Coast, not going to happen. You know, maybe New York, maybe a little bit of Jersey.
But they wouldn't need to do an invasion. They would let us destroy ourselves.
Understood. But yeah, so I think when people talk about this, it would be, you know, under the notion of the Red Dawn scenario, a land invasion, which is just, everybody knows that, yeah, that's a terrible idea. Yeah. Other ways, missiles, whatever, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Economic,
there are other ways to skin a cat, you know, but the whole idea of, you know, Russia's doing their war games because we're doing war gaming in Ukraine right now. We're putting HIMARS in Ukraine that can reach Moscow, that can reach the Kremlin in 12 minutes. What Putin is doing is showing, hey, you're not immune to that either. And that's what the war gaming is right now.
Oh, yeah. And we have B-1s dropping live rounds in and South Korea. Also, there's a little display of force happening over on the peninsula there. So yeah, we're rattling some cages, but still doesn't worry. That doesn't worry me so much.
Yeah.
Kaylee, is that a vision or a sense that you have, or are you just sort of an educated guess with everything that's going on? I don't know. I don't know if I have that same feeling. How does that feel to you, Stace?
Well, things are happening in the background. Yesterday, they just caught, I think it was 11 known terrorists in New Jersey that came in through the border, and they were planning stuff because they had homemade bomb stuff put together. The government kicked in the doors and grabbed them. But stuff like that's going to be happening simply because of the open border.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that essentially, and even what Ken's talking about, that sort of boils down to terrorism, essentially. You're not going to see battalions of planted soldiers there. It's just not going to happen. And even if they did, I don't know. Look, when my first week in Pennsylvania, when I moved here, I went to Walmart to get like bins or something for the garage, and I didn't know. I didn't know. The first day of hunting season's a holiday. So like I walked in and it was like being on post. I'm like, everybody's wearing camouflage. Kids are fucking geared up. So yeah, it being a marksman's a thing out here, right?
Yeah.
Look what we did for. That's why I have a bidet in.
Yeah. People.
It'll be $3.99 per squirt. You can come by.
Per squirt.
Oh God, that's gonna be that will be isolated for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's true. Without running water, what are you going to do? What if the water is?
I have a hand pump. I'll just stand next to you and crank that thing up. We'll get it. It'll be good. And a turkey baster.
Yeah.
Times are tough, bro. Come on over.
You got a hand pump
for water?
Okay. Wait. So you're going to be?
Don't worry. Let's not dig a deeper hole.
I just visualize something there.
Just don't visualize. Don't.
I'm sorry. I'm reading everybody's comments here. They're adding some. Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm not going to put up Ian's comment because that will just get us in trouble. Okay. So where do you want me to go from here? Warmongers, Get Haunted 2024, major illnesses.
How much time? I would go to Get Haunted.
Yeah, right. I don't remember what I said for Get Haunted.
All right, we're gonna go to Get Haunted.
Yeah,
here we go.
Here it comes. Let's see how right you were
for this.
Yes, go to war with Get Haunted 2024. That will add shooting target practice to our events. Right, we can have them at shooting ranges. I can shoot. I'm a really good shot.
Well, there's going to be opportunities that have never been seen in at least 5 generations, that if you seize upon them, you can become very, very wealthy. Because we're talking about money. Wealth is like energy. Energy thermodynamics cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Wealth is the same way. It can't be created or destroyed, only transferred. If you know where it's going to be transferred to, you can be standing in that spot when it moves that way. And that's how you become wealthy.
So
insider
look
trading.
For armored cars, look for all that fun shit.
Well, it's going to be
cryptocurrency.
Everything what we know as finance today is going to be transferred into a tokenized system. Between now and 2030, but the lion's share of everything that's going to take place is going to happen in 2024.
Was that what Chuck E. Cheese was all about, teaching us how to use tokens?
I think that was just a way of them keeping your money.
Those were tickets.
No,
And
you had to use tokens. You had to
You
check
need the
to choose
tokens to play the games to get the
to
tickets.
get the tickets,
Yes.
which you could have just bought. You could have bypassed that whole process.
Could have just bought them all.
Casinos are the same way. They give you chips. They take your money and give you chips. It's basically the tokenized system that we're going to be dealing with.
Love that.
Right now, if you look at the debt clock, it has all these things that are going on. It's all numbers that are switching and doing different things. They're all going up in some.
You didn't really give us anything on Get Haunted, except going to war with Get Haunted, and that prediction might have come true.
Yeah. We got one right so far.
Well, I think AI broke this up. It sounds like that's what it looks like happened with the chapters. That AI did this thing and realized when the subject changed, they just created a new chapter.
Yeah.
Send us your Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Yeah. The tokenized system is on its way. AI, you guys have been doing shows on AI. All of the information, the data points that happen with AI, they're tokens. They're actually little text files with little data points in it that they keep in massive databases that can be pulled, in microseconds. But they're done with tokens. They're tokenizing absolutely everything. Your information, my information, and anything that you have as far as an asset is concerned. And what is that, XRP?
Yeah.
Yeah. XRP is still my favorite.
Shitting the bed.
It's going to be in the news probably in the next, by the 20th of June. 60 days after the halving is when Bitcoin usually starts to pump really hard. And then 45 days after that is when the altcoins, XRP, will pump really hard. That's historical. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's not a prediction. That's just historically, since the year 2012, every halving is like clockwork. That's what happens. So fully expect. It's right after the court case for a year now.
Yeah.
Are you in?
It was
it
started out. It was a good start this week, but then it got not quite as pretty.
Yeah, Bitcoin's going to be the first mover. It's going to go really hard, probably to 100 grand. When this whole cycle is done, it's probably going to be around 300 grand. Mm-hmm. And I think it's sitting at 65 right now. The same thing with XRP. When all is said and done, it's going to be north of $27.
Yeah,
and it's sitting at 48 cents right now.
Give me that shit. What'd you say? 27?
Yeah, probably in a few months, just based off of the not utility. This is the crazy part of it all. This is just the normal crypto cycle as far as like the bull and bust. Utility, when it kicks in for XRP, it's going to be 4 and 5 digits. And utility is part of BRICS, the cross-border payment system we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
$4.4 quadrillion needs to move around the world every year. That's just how countries do trade. That's how countries move money from central bank to central bank. Derivatives market is half of that. Mm-hmm. That's all done in dollars right now. That's going away. They need a cross-border system that's going to do it in seconds. It's going to settle in seconds, and it's going to create a lot of wealth that's currently bottled up. That's XRP.
Yeah. Alexa, order my Lamborghini.
From Amazon? Yeah.
From Amazon with XRP so come on, Stacy. This one needs to pop. All right, next. What are we talking about next? Can we talk about something fun? Something happy?
Well, we have Star Wars, we have spiritual war, we have climate change, we have writing a book. These are the chapters that I guess AI busted out for us. Yeah. I don't think we really want to go into depression diaries, do we? Do we really want lab-grown meat?
Oh, wait. Good topic.
What?
All right.
Which one?
Yesterday, no, the Wade came out with the UFO.
Oh,
Harvard came out with a study that was released yesterday. Weird timing, I know. But in the study, it says aliens may be living amongst us, disguised as humans. This is a Harvard study.
mm-hmm.
I went and read it, and it actually read like Jones' webpage, but Harvard is now providing some credibility to the whole conspiracy theory that aliens are here.
Mm.
And they've come up with the conclusion that it would be silly not to think so.
I think I accidentally married one.
A lizard person?
She's not watching.
So what about the medical breakthroughs due to this UFO or the official sightings? Like anything like that? Does getting involved or acknowledging this stuff, like, are we going to see some new medical breakthroughs or?
Yeah, they're going to come out with a cure of cancer.
Okay.
That's coming because there's no reason for them to keep it back anymore. They have,
No, but that's not because of aliens. They've just had that forever.
Yeah, but AI has publicly come out and said, yeah, we can cure cancer. They have the new AI models with NVIDIA. It's for public use. You can actually, if you have an AI medical software package,
Mm-hmm.
they actually have the preset, models on how to cure individual cancers based off the genetic code of the person you're dealing with. AI has already got it. They just haven't come out and said, yeah, we can cure cancer. But NVIDIA said, yeah, we can cure cancer. So that's, part of the whole AI part. It's not aliens.
Yeah. All right. How about Alzheimer's?
Yeah, they've had a cure for that for a while. They're actually doing human trials, have been for about 10 years now. That removes the plaque on the brain, because that seems to be the plaque suffocates the brain cells, and it's like a slow motion stroke. So removing that plaque with various drugs is how they're curing it. It's regenerating it, depending on how far along it is, what they're having a problem with.
And I do agree with D Hoot. There is no money in a cure. Why would they give you the cure? Yeah.
Well, that's
exactly
part of it too. Now with the CRISPR, it costs an ass ton of money to tailor make, genetic drugs. So yeah, you're not going to get chemo anymore, but they have to put it in this weird machine, that looks like a coffee maker, and spit out a drug that's going to be tailor made for you specifically. It's going to cure your specific cancer. It's not going to get any cheaper. It's just a different method.
Right. All right. Well,
that was a lovely hour and 9 minutes.
Oh, you ready to get rid of me already?
No, I'm just saying.
Can you give us something? Do you have anything that you've added to your predictions for 2024 now that we are 6 months in, that are a little, and I know you always say, and really it is how we look at it. Everybody resists change. Everybody doesn't want to do something they haven't done. We see this all the time. And then we sort of go on living a certain new way for 10 years and you don't remember the old way that you were bitching about starting the new way. Right. So, a lot of this isn't as bad as I think it all sounds. It's a little scary. But do you have something good that you can add to this conversation?
Enlightenment is here. We are experiencing it. People on individual levels they're calling it different things. They're calling it red pill, black pill, white pill. All the internet language is not saying what it actually is, which is enlightenment. People are no longer, swallowing the bullshit whole cloth and being able to have critical thinking of their own. They're actually listening to themselves and listening to people who have already transitioned, which is good. They're not listening to Facebook or Twitter or what the social media stuff. They're all losing their credibility on that front. So the legacy media has lost its credibility on that front. People are trusting people that they trust, and they're having conversation. They're, getting together and meeting face to face. These things that we were slipping away from with social media, creating this weird, detachment from our, quarantine. People are getting back to being real, and the wool is being removed from their eyes.
Yeah.
That enlightenment that's taking place. So whatever happens, they're not going to be as easily swayed or even, forced into something that just a few years ago they would happily, stand 6 feet apart with a diaper on there. Nobody's going to fall for that bullshit anymore, because they know the government did it out of bullshit. They don't trust Dr. Fauci anymore. Dr. Fauci had a candle with his face as a saint. He was selling that as being Saint Fauci because he was so holier than thou. He was never wrong. He was untouchable on that front. When all is said and done, he's going to end up going to prison because he lied over and over and over again. That kind of thing where the evil people are no longer going to have any hold on us, that's when we become really free. And that's happening right now. It's a beautiful thing.
So I don't know, Arthur, when you popped down and joined us, but with Stacy, your predictions, I feel like it's not paranormal intuition. It's definitely you use your remote viewing.
Right.
And would you also say?
Yeah. Different, topics, and I shuffle them, and I didn't do it all at once. This is like a progression, because it takes, and I don't know if you've done any remote viewing, taken my course yet, Sarah, but each session can go anywhere from 20 minutes to 45 minutes. You want to do something, and then it takes time to actually interpret what was being done. You have to do an analysis afterwards. So it's time consuming. Any session you run in remote viewing is very labor intensive and very time consuming. So you do them over a period of weeks, some months, and find out what's going to happen over the next year. And that is kind of squishy all by itself, because remote viewing is really good at, who, what, where, but not on when. There's no time parallax of being able to know, because what could be a year could actually be 18 months or 6 months. You don't really know, because time isn't what we think it is. So you're kind of in a ballpark. What's going to happen in a year's time may actually be 18 months.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Wade's asking, how about the film, television, entertainment industry? Does it become more responsible due to the real events that will take place in 2025? I mean, how do we feel? Because, you touched on the Enlightenment, and I agree with you. And I do think that that's what's kind of happening right now, this weird push-pull situation a little bit. We see, like you said, people are sort of going more inward. They're relying more on their intuition and understanding, and realizing, right? We talk about this a lot in Reiki practices. It's stopping the distractions. It's going back and really feeling your body that is connected to universe. So you sort of understand what's happening when we get rid of all the bullshit, right? That's sort of, I do agree with you. I do think that is happening. And it's probably why we're seeing some of the so-called demons being disturbed, right? We see people sort of losing their shit a little bit. And that is what happens when that whole facade or that door has been opened and people don't want to go back. But I kind of feel even with the entertainment industry, I don't feel has that same hold over people that it used to.
Exactly. I mean, you're probably not a big Star Wars person, Sarah, but they came out with a new series called The Acolyte. It has been completely panned by anybody who remotely cares about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they redefined what the Force was.
Mm-hmm.
They redefined the whole idea that, no joke, 2 lesbians could scissor and then get pregnant. I'm not joking. That's actually
I know you're not joking.
of Star Wars. You know, people are losing their minds because Hollywood literally, yes, Arthur, we do need to talk. Because remote viewing is in your wheelhouse, for real. But
Yeah,
Hollywood's falling apart.
Mhm.
You know, Star Wars is just another brick in the wall. It's just falling apart. And
no, you just
yeah,
Yeah. So, and that kind of goes with religious as well, the institutions of religion, again, I think so many people are questioning, and they're not, even if they've always questioned, they're not afraid to step up and actually voice those concerns and or questions that they have, right? So I don't know if I see as many people turning to the church as much. It doesn't mean that they don't have their faith, but I don't know that I see as many people turning to the church. How do you feel about that? And how will society, I mean, I think society does affect that for sure.
yeah. Depending on who you talk to, AI is taking all of our mundane jobs. The only jobs going to be available are those that have fulfillment. People are going to actually want to do the work because they want to do the work, not because they're doing it because they got to make rent.
Mhm.
That's supposedly happening in the next few years with, UBI and all of that.
Mhm.
The institutions themselves, I don't know where I fall on. I haven't remote viewed the Catholic Church, the
Mhm.
Vatican. But there's a lot of talk that this Pope is the last Pope, with the predictions of Malachi, of naming the number of popes that were going to, be in succession. And the last Pope was going to be essentially the end of the church itself. Well, they've run through for the last 400 years all of these different popes, and the one we've got now is the last on the list. So I don't know whether that's true, but given the state of how the governmental body of the church has been, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. I feel like there are just some things you probably shouldn't remote view, and that might be one of them.
Yeah, well, you just don't publish it. You find it out for yourself. Like I've done Bigfoot. I never published it. I've talked about it briefly on the show, but it's one of those things where, it's actually Sasquatch. Bigfoot. You can't remote view Bigfoot. It has to be Sasquatch. You don't get anything on Bigfoot. You get good hits on Sasquatch.
Interesting. That's interesting. All right. So how are you feeling, Rob? Are you okay?
Oh, I'm great.
Are you great?
Yeah. I'm just taking it all in. Listen.
Buzz wearing off?
No buzz. I didn't have a buzz. I'm just here.
Again, I don't know that I heard anything. There's a lot to take in. And obviously, we're looking at all of this sort of in a condensed version. So it sounds, I think, just a little bit more heavy than probably it feels as we're living it. Right. I
don't know.
think.
Maybe I'm just, jaded. None freaks me out anymore.
Yeah.
It's not
20 years ago. Yeah, maybe.
It's not a freak out. It's just, it's like, 10 days without getting picked on. Like, come on. What am I going to do?
What would you do with those 10 days?
Oh, what would I do with those 10 days?
Well, you don't have internet connection, so you're going to have, all your porn on a hard drive.
I don't watch porn.
You don't watch porn?
No, it's bad for you.
I don't know. That's
Yeah. Next.
next.
No,
So
I would
anybody, go ahead, Rob.
I'd probably take those 10 days and organize some things. I don't know.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Maybe I'll drive to Louisiana.
No,
But I won't be able to get fuel. Never
you
mind.
won't be able. You'll get as far as whatever you got in your tank, and that will be it.
Kent. I'm not putting. I see you, Kent, but I'm not putting your comment up.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know. 10 days of darkness. Maybe it's 10 days that we actually, you remember like when COVID when it first sort of happened and everybody thought this was going to be, I'm getting back to myself and I'm going to do all these amazing things. And the reality is as human nature is, those moments, right? You do for about a hot second and then you go back, we take things for granted. We go back to doing the things that we just do that we, the distractions creep back in and all that kind of stuff. So,
I learned the biggest thing I learned during COVID was that I cannot play Monopoly with my daughter or anybody really.
I can't. I don't like Monopoly. I can't play Monopoly. No, it's not happening. Monopoly's not happening.
Game. But with her, I literally flipped the thing. The board.
Yeah, I've never been into games. Sports, anything of that kind. Football, basketball. People are obsessed with their sports and their games, their video games.
Oh.
Board games were the worst. I've never liked games, essentially. I always liked to read and learn things. So I would...
Dork.
Stacy, dork. I like sci-fi.
Right. Bigger dork.
That's entertainment. Yeah.
But he's ours. He's our spiritual warfare dork. Right?
Dork.
And we love Stacy for that. Do you guys on the side have any last questions that you would like to ask him before we let him go? Because we're coming up on an hour and a half, right? Interesting.
23 minutes
interesting. Right now. Show there, Teresa was, right? I don't know I think we will. We'll all survive 10 days. I say this is when the 10 days of darkness, all these amazing people, we should do 10 days of consciousness connection, and we'll get each other through those 10 days and come out the other side and kick ass in this new world that we'll be living in.
Yeah, we went through COVID for 2 years, even though we were promised 14 days to flatten the curve. It went on for 2 years. They can't do that again. They just can't.
No.
They have to have this thing roll out quickly and efficiently and with as little, problem as they can get, because it affects them too. It affects their elitism. The longer it goes on, they jeopardize their own elitism, and that's the last thing they want to do. So, 10 days is their window, but it'll probably be done over a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. Well, we could do I like this, Damien. Thank you for the idea. This could be the Get Haunted 10-day ghost hunt event of the lifetime, right? Like nobody else would be doing it. That would be our thing right there.
Yeah, if you want to wander out in the darkness when everybody out and the zombies are out, go ahead. I'm going to stay home.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we all need to do a little coconut cleanse after this show, just to sort of shock our system back.
Nobody else knows what that means. I have never told anybody on this show what that means. You just made that sound like an enema.
Well, it kind of feels like one way. It's sort of a, yeah.
I'm doing it all wrong, man. Clearly, I missed.
Not what you do.
I look like I have a severe drinking problem because I keep a giant, cheap bottle of white rum in my bathroom. So it looks like I, drink secretly in the John, but I don't. Yeah. So
we'll do that on a show on cleansing. We haven't done one of those shows yet. So the coconut cleanse is not how it sounds.
Yeah, like everybody's like, what is that? Yeah, we'll do, you will share that little ditty with you. It is an amazing opportunity to reset and cleanse yourself of all the ick. All
Yeah.
the ick that sometimes gets stuck to us, as Stacy would say. Don't do what I do. Don't take 7 months to do what you're asked to do. we'll hopefully get everybody to do that once we teach them what that good old coconut cleanse is. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Kent. Thank you guys on the side, and everybody had amazing input. We appreciate that. We love to hear your voices and everything you guys have to share, because that is what it is all about. It's about sharing everything that we know to add to the conversation and grow the conversation and build our knowledge. We love that so much. Stacy, thank you so much for all of your wisdom. You know, you guys could go to udemy.com and check out Stacy Tallitsch's, all his fabulous courses. Any sales going on, Stace?
Not yet. I have one that's going to be kicking on the 15th, but I don't know what the coupon is. So.
Okay. Well, everybody keep your eyes open. The 15th, there'll be a coupon for a Stacy Tallitsch Udemy course. We love that. Thank you, Wade. We loved having you on here with us, sharing and asking questions. It's amazing. And you guys know what we love to say to you. We see you out there. We appreciate you out there, and we certainly love you. You guys are the good in the community. We love watching you guys network. We love watching you guys help each other, lift each other, being the good. We need more of that in the world. Stacy's saying, it's all happening. Thank you for being the enlightened souls that you are. It was brilliant.
Yes.
It was brilliant. Thank you, Damien.
All the side pieces, they're in enlightenment right now. So.
Oh, you just redeemed that by Stace. He just told you. Are you trying to do this?
Only the enlightened. Only the enlightened.
Yes.
You know?
This is true. I love this. So go out there. That's right. Go out there. And,
my man Kent.
That's right. Time to get the Kool-Aid. So just go out there and give yourself a little pat on the back for being an enlightened soul. We love to see it. All right. So with that, it is Thursday. That means we are coming up on the weekend. If you guys have an investigation this weekend, please be safe out there. We do have a Get Haunted event at the amazing White Hill Mansion in Fieldsboro, New Jersey, this Saturday, the 15th. I think that's all we got, but whatever you got, we would love to see what you're doing. So why don't you go share it over there on the Get Haunted Network page, because we love to talk to you. Right. So with that, Kent's going to Octagon Hall. We love that. That is amazing. Please have a very safe and amazing investigation. Moon gazing night all. Look at that. Damien's moon gazing. Teresa's saying, think positive and good night, everybody. We love that. D-Hoot's leaving for a vacation. Have safe travels. Have an amazing vacation. Be safe. Guys, with that, have a great weekend. We will see you Monday with Paranormally Blonde, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And Wednesday live, midweek, midday with Rob and Sarah. So with that,
peace.
Guys, later. Bye.